What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And in this review, I'm going to talk about the game Street Fighter Alpha Warrior Stream, which was released in the arcade by Capcom and later ported to PlayStation, Sega, Saturn, and Game Boy Color. And the story is that a group of very good martial artists take part in the Street Fighter tournament for their own personal reasons, and their pretty much reasons are different depending on which character you're talking about. And it's pretty bare bones in terms of the plot, and it's very similar to previous Street Fighter games and stuff like that. And for the sake of this review, I'm going to talk about the Game Boy Color version. And the characters that exist in the Game Boy Color version of Street Fighter Alpha are Ryu, Chun-Li, Charlie, Ken, Guy, Birdie, Sodom, Adon, Rose, and Sagat. And your opponents that you face in succession is pretty much dependent on which character you picked at the selection screen. And pretty much, like for example, if you pick Chun-Li, it's going to be different. The opponents you face in succession will be different if from like Ken's, you know what I'm saying? And and it's all like a best of three rounds when you face your opponents, of course, you know what I'm saying? And I do like the fact that each martial artist have their own martial arts background and stuff like that. And the modes in the Game Boy Color version are arcade mode, trading mode, and options. In the arcade mode, it's the traditional one-player mode where you face each character in the best of three rounds. You know what I'm saying? And in the training mode, you pretty much pick two of the characters in the game, where you pretty much the sole purpose is to get you used to the gameplay and controls of it. You know what I'm saying? Then when you talk about the options, you can change different things like the difficulty, the button configuration, the time limit, the best of rounds. It could be like one round, best of three, or best of five. You know what I'm saying? You can change the amount of damage you and your opponent can take with each hit, along with the speed of the game. Now the graphics and design of Street Fighter Alpha for the Game Boy Color are pretty decent, you know what I'm saying? It has a nice color palette to it also. Now, to me, the controls and gameplay for the Game Boy Color version of Street Fighter Alpha is the best part of this version because all of the kicks, punches, and special moves can be done without a problem with the two buttons on the Game Boy Color and stuff like that. Now the soundtrack is okay, but it didn't age as well as the home console and arcade versions of Street Fighter Alpha and stuff like that. Now there's two like main gripes that I can think of. The first one is the fact that the Game Boy Color version of Street Fighter Alpha don't have a two-player co-op, and some of the fighters on the roster from the home console and arcade versions don't appear in the Game Boy Color version. Now, when it comes to the two-player co-op, it's always been a staple of the fighting genre, something that was popularized with the first Street Fighter 2 game, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the Game Boy Color version having less fighters on the roster, I think that the limitation of the Game Boy Color prevented all of the characters from the home console and arcade versions to be in it. You know what I'm saying? And another pretty much issue is the replay value of the Game Boy Color version is lower than the other versions due to the fact that it don't have the two-player co-op and stuff like that. But despite these specific gripes, the Game Boy Color version of Street Fighter Alpha Warrior Stream is still a good game, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much one of the best Game Boy titles that I've played so far, you know what I'm saying? As far as the score, I definitely give it an 8 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, sound off in the comment section about Street Fighter Alpha Warrior Stream, you know what I'm saying? And you can mention which version that you like, regardless if it's like the PlayStation version or the arcade version or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? And if you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.